Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Kayla Sierra, hosted by yours truly. Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick congratulations to all of us for making it to the end of January. Round of applause to you and all your loved ones. I know it's been a really grappling month. A lot has happened. Whether you've been staying in tune with what's going on, just not even within the United States, within just all around the world. It's been a lot, and it can be really taxing. It can be really hard and cause a lot of stress and anxiety. But I am praying over everyone who is under the sound of my voice that we are going to be strong and just overcome any obstacles that come our way, and we're not going to allow outside influences, outside matters get in the way of what we are trying to accomplish in 2025, period. I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's get into my January reads. My first read of the month was Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This book is for sure 5 stars, and I read it from January 1st to January 10th. One of my favorite parts of this book was the journey that Brianna, our female main character, goes through in just her self-journey and her discovery of who she is and the place that she has within the book. It's truly one of my favorites. My only dislike would have to be the love triangle. It's not my favorite trope, and I feel like it complicates the story a lot of times. So that would be like my only thing about this book, but everything else within this story, chef's kiss. My next read was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I don't know if you guys can tell, and you guys are going to see it a lot more in my books. I'm an annotator. I also just love the sound that makes. This is going to be a sidetrack. I used to write in my books, and I still do in some cases, but I highly prefer just tabbing them now because it's a lot cleaner. But then also, if I don't know, was going insane and thought I was just like in love with a book and I was eating it up, and then I go back and I was like, this wasn't as good as you thought it was. I can take them out. I can give the book away without having damaged it or anything like that. So yeah, I prefer to tab. I will highlight and maybe write little notes here and there, but tabbing is the way to go. Back on topic, I read this book from January 13th to the 15th, and I gave it 3 stars. My main like for this book would have to be one of the main characters, Kai. It's sad to say, but he's probably one of the only things I like in this book. There are so many dislikes that I could just go on a hating train. Well, I don't want to say a hating train, just I could rant about the things I do not like in this book. The relationship between Peyton and Kai and his brother, which also is a love triangle. And okay, speaking of love triangle, I will read the next book. I will, because it got me enough to where I was like, okay, I'm interested. But if she don't end up with Kai, I'm done. Something that's also interesting about this book, within the bookish world, book talk, and just everything, us readers who are familiar with this book, but also familiar with another series, the Red Queen series, know and understand that there are many similarities between the 2 books, and I picked up on them like that. I read the first 2 books of the Red Queen series, and it was very daunting to me how similar they were. But then also I saw a lot of similarities with this book and the Hunger Games series. A lot of people have made accusations about, copyright and this author just plain out copying the story and everything. I don't necessarily agree with that, but what I will say is that it doesn't have anything that makes it special. Once you've read those books and you're familiar with those series, I could definitely see how reading this book is kind of I read this book just in a different font. that can be disappointing, but then also it can turn you off from an author. I'm gonna give Reckless a chance. That's the second book. Also, the names are similar to another series that I really like, the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. So that's also something I'm like, blah. But we're not gonna hold this against her. I'm gonna read Reckless just to see. But yeah, 3 stars. Probably wouldn't read it again. My third read of the month was Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. As y'all can see, I started annotating it. I only did 3 because then okay, let me slow down. I was trying to do like annotations and taking notes for myself of like trying to solve the crime, because one thing I love about a good like thriller mystery, I like to be able to see if I can crack it before the people will do in the book. I didn't. I was so surprised when I got to like the revelation of like who was behind everything. It shocked me to my core. So kudos, because I shouldn't be able to tell the end of the book before I get to it. So I completely applaud Holly Jackson for that. I read this book in a day. It took me, a couple of hours. I think from when I woke up on January 21st, I woke up and I started reading it, and I probably was done by 12:30 or so, because I got up around like 8 officially. And I just read it straight through, didn't do anything else. I just read. And I gave it 5 stars because I thought I loved Pip in the first book. I adore her in this book. There's something about female rage that just makes me feel all warm inside. I loved seeing Pip go through such an emotional battle with she's just in high school. She's just a kid, really. And she's solving these major crimes that she shouldn't have the skill set or the capability to do, but she does. And I'm glad that she has like a really good support team, like Ravi and her other friends, even though her parents are like not with it. But even like what she's going through, because she's putting out these podcasts and everything in the world, and people are being really hateful and people are being really disgusting, and how like they're speaking about her and like giving her or sending her death threats and everything like that. But Pip is that girl, and I am really excited for the second season. I hope that they do her justice. The actress who plays her, I really hope she does, because there's no way you can not embody this kind of rage right. There is a way, but I have faith and I have hope that she's going to be able to do it. All that being said, I am super, super happy I finally got to read it, and I will be looking forward to buying the 3rd book immediately. My 4th book of the month was Nightbane by Alex Astor. I read this book on January 27th, and I rated it 2 stars. As you can see, no annotations. This isn't my book, which is why I didn't annotate it. I borrowed it from a friend, which I have to give a shout out to my book community, like my friends who are really into books just like me, because they be holding me down. Proper grammar, Kayla. I love being able to go to them when I talk books, or if I need ideas, or just if they've read a book and I'm like, okay, like talk me through it, like is this worth reading and everything. We have that sort of relationship. Having them as my security when it comes to all bookish things, it's just so great. So shout out to y'all. I love y'all so much. But back to the book. I can't say if I have a like for this book. I don't think I do, because Light Lark didn't interest me as a whole. What I will say, this is another love triangle book. I just realized that. Guys, when I say I don't like love triangles, I mean I don't like love triangles. This is not the purpose of the video, but I'm not going to die on this hill. I will stand on this hill of they are just not good tropes, love triangles. They're just not. But anyways, I don't know. I really don't have any favorites. I'm very impartial to this book. Even so that like I got a good bit into it and couldn't take it anymore, and I truthfully looked up what happened. Or no, I looked up some plot holes because I couldn't understand what was going on. So I had to look it up to be explained to like I was a kid, because my brain couldn't fathom what I was going through. So yeah, I was reading the second one to appease my dear friend Amina. I love you, Amina, but I won't be continuing this series. I won't. I know you will, because she actually really likes the series. I won't though. So I will gladly hear from her everything, but this is not a book for me. My fifth read of the month was Crossed by Emily McIntyre. I read this book on the 28th, and coincidentally, like we're kind of matching. That doesn't change the fact that I rated this book with 1 star. If I really could have just did 0 stars, but I gave it 1 star. I am only gonna say this one thing, and that'll be it for this book. I will never read another dark romance again. My final read of January was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you aren't familiar with the Fourth Ring series, this is the 3rd book of that series, and it just came out on the 26th, and I read it from the 29th to the 30th, which is today, and I gave it 5 glorious stars. As you can see, so pretty. And I am now kind of upset because I low-key kind of ruined the sprayed ends, but that's okay. I will look past it. What I definitely have to say, one of my favorite parts of this book is seeing the communication between Violet and Xaden become a lot better. If you guys didn't know, and if you haven't read the other 2 books of this series, go do it immediately. It's one of my favorite series, but I have to say the growth between them and their relationship is so different than where it was like in the beginning and a good bit of Iron Flame, which was the book beforehand, because Violet was not having it with Xaden. It was very much like she didn't care. She was just like, you've been lying to me and I don't appreciate it. But babe, Violet stands 10 toes behind her man, and Xaden does the same. I love them like this. They go together. It's truly just nice to see how their relationship has changed and evolved with the circumstances that happened in the end of Iron Flame and now have carried over into Onyx Storm. But then also being able to see some of our side characters get a lot more screen time, some more page time. I think that's how I can say it. More page time. Like Violet's friends and the characters we've grown to love since the first book, since Fourth Wing, are really showcased and given a lot more chances to show their personality and be a more help of what is going on within this book. If I have to choose what my dislike for this book is, it would be this dumb little cliffhanger that Rebecca decided to put. Now, Rebecca, come to the front of the class. Me and you have a love-hate, very toxic relationship. So far, you have just been putting me through the ringer. You know, you broke my heart with the last letter. You tore me to pieces when you did what you did in not Iron Flame, in Fourth Wing. If y'all haven't read Fourth Wing and y'all don't know what I'm referring to, I should really just say it because it's been out for so long. So like, why haven't you gone and read it? But I'm not fin to, because I love y'all, I guess. But what you did in Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, what you did in Iron Flame too, I had to think about it. Yes, because you played with my feelings in that book. And now this, because I can't even say 3 times a strike because you've done it 4 times, but that's okay. She is one of my favorite authors now. Like, I can't deny that, and I can't lie and say that she isn't, because she really is. Because child, she just does what she wants, and It's not okay, but it's her book. It's fine. I can't say I'll read this one again, only because of what I went through reading it this time. And I say that wholeheartedly knowing that I am for sure gonna read it again. Now I'm gonna rank all 6 books from my least favorite to my most favorite. On the bottom of the pyramid, I have Crossed, Nightbane. Then I have Onyx Storm and Good Girl, Bad Blood. And lastly, my favorite read of the month is Legendborn. 31 days and 6 books later, we are at the end of the month. I am super happy with this TBR, and just the fact of knowing that I stuck to it. I didn't switch from what I said I was going to read, even though like Nightbane and Crossed, I almost didn't end up reading them, y'all. So I'm super proud of myself, and it's only going to go up from here. February is right around the corner. It's literally today, because this video will be out on February 1st. And I will be sharing my TBR for February and a little sneak peek just to give you guys a kind of a hint of what you might be expecting and what kind of content will be coming out. With February being Black History Month, I will be strictly reading books by Black authors. I really hope to show more love and appreciation for their content and what they've been putting out. So I'm super excited for what February has to come. Just like that, we're at the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to share some of your opinions about the books I discussed today, please feel free to comment down below or send me a DM on Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and share this with all your friends. I've been Kayla, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!